Earlier this month, we learned that Hillary Clinton's State Department was getting pressure from Barack Obama to do something about Julian Assange and stop any more releases from WikiLeaks. Hillary Clinton responded by proposing a drone strike and the assassination of Julian Assange. And now that we see what kind of information is being released through WikiLeaks, it's no wonder that Hillary Clinton wants him dead, because there is enough evidence here to not only end her presidential campaign, but if all of this gets out to the public, she might end up in prison. Leanne McAdoo and Margaret Howell join me now to try to make sense of all this. Where do we begin? I mean, this is all... Look at all this information that's coming out right now.
Right, and this is, again, just from one person, John Podesta. These are not even the 33,000
These are just the Podesta emails. That's right.
Darren, there is enough information, if people will just read it and look at it, to put this woman behind bars. This is criminally indictable, the things that she's doing. Just the Bill Clinton issue alone. Let's just take Bill for a second. We know that Qatar, they gave him a $1 million birthday gift. They wanted to present it to him directly. This is in this email. Meanwhile, the New York Times are saying there's no smoking gun among any of this.
And Qatar didn't want anything in exchange, right? They just, it's just out of the kindness of their own hearts, right?
Exactly. They also wanted to allocate in the tens of millions money going through the Clinton Foundation into Haiti. We know that she had her hand in all of these pots. She put her husband Bill as the ombudsman to Haiti, if you will, to manage the money. And this state that jails and persecutes women for rape, that have been raped, the state that hangs homosexuals by the neck, they're donating to the Clintons. Meanwhile, they're spouting to all of us about human rights.
Right. And I want to go back to Qatar real quick and Saudi Arabia, because we now know through the emails that Hillary Clinton said herself to John Podesta in the email that Saudi Arabia and Qatar, they are arming and funding ISIS. Wow.
Right.
Wow. I mean, it's right there. And this is something, of course, InfoWars, we've been saying this for how long? We've been saying this from the very beginning. Now we have concrete proof through the WikiLeaks.
Right. I mean, it's really outrageous, just the things that we are learning from them. I mean, it would be surprising to find out what sort of things that we don't have access to. Meanwhile, the New York Times, like you said, they're saying this is no big deal. There's no smoking gun. But what they really want people to focus on is Donald Trump and this alleged sex case that came out of nowhere. The women say, oh, well, we were just fed up at the debate. We said enough's enough. We're going to finally speak out about being inappropriately touched by him. And then, of course, Donald Trump said, I'm going to retaliate. This is libel per se. The New York Times said, come with it, whatever. This is a public service. America needs to know about this. But meanwhile, they won't let America know what Hillary Clinton and her State Department and everyone that she's got working for her are doing with this country and what they're setting us up.
Well, this is a smokescreen. And of course, these rape allegations about Bill Clinton, they've been around since he was in college, okay? All of these new allegations that Donald Trump was inappropriate with women, that's just since, the last couple of weeks.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Perfectly timed with the presidency.
We know that the leaks regarding Donald Trump, per se, were done by GOP insiders wanting to destabilize.
Yeah,
we know that through fallout. But going back to what Leanne was talking about, and specifically the Saudi Arabia issue and Qatar funding ISIS, or Qatar, however you say it, we know that the Clinton Foundation, the Saudis are one of their #1 donors. What does that say? That the Secretary of State has her hand in the pockets of the Saudis. Meanwhile, she knows the Secretary of State, they're funding ISIS and other Wahhabi groups that are radical, that will become radicalized in decades to come, that we're going to be fighting long after she's Secretary of State. She's arming them with one hand, taking money from them with the other, arming the terrorists and taking money. And oh, by the way, so are her BFFs as well. They're also arming ISIS.
Right. And a lot of people kind of point out, why are we making Russia the enemy when we could be getting oil from them as well? A lot of resources we could be sharing.
Well, Russia's a perfect fall guy.
Well, yeah, but why are we tying ourselves to Saudi Arabia? They keep saying that they're our #1 ally in the region, and they are like the #1 exporter of terrorism. It's not the oil that we're addicted to. The U.S. is addicted to selling them weapons.
And let's not forget about the 28 pages, which is also, it's now redacted, by the way, most of it anyway. But it proves once and for all that the government of Saudi Arabia helped armed
directly
the hijackers.
Directly complicit.
And we're talking Saudi royal family and members of the Saudi government. Prince Bandar, the Saudi ambassador to the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it is outrageous. And something else that I found here in the WikiLeaks, Adon Salazar has this article up. It's really been kind of taking the the dark web by storm, if you will. A lot of people are saying that they're in the Podesta email, they were talking about assassination, making a reference to an assassination just days before Scalia's death. So this was an email exchange.
So I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff to comb through. So we need your help as well. If you guys come across anything, let us know. But this is an email exchange between Podesta and D.C. lobbyist Steve Elmendorf. And they said, Podesta says in a February 9th email under the subject line, thanks, he says, didn't think wet works meant pool parties at the vineyard. And of course, wet works is kind of a KGB euphemism for assassination or murder. And Elmendorf replies, I'm all in. Sounds like it will be a bad night. We all need to buckle up and double down. So who knows that they're making a reference to Scalia, but whatever they're making a reference to, why are they talking about wet works in their email? And it's going to be a bad night.
So we have funding terrorism. We have taking money from bad actors. We have murder. We have quite a trove here. And what really gets me, Taryn, is the fact that mainstream media anchors and reporters are saying, we're not even going to touch this because, it's illegal, so we can't touch it.
Well, a lot of the WikiLeaks stuff,
it.
they are reporting the WikiLeaks, but it seems like none of the damning information. A lot of it is, one of it might be, I've heard rumors of Hillary Clinton using the N-word to talk about somebody on her campaign. That would be huge. Okay.
She hates evangelicals and Catholics. We know this from this
we know that,
right.
but I think the ties with Saudi Arabia are much more damning, and I wish they would pay more attention to that. And also the fact that she said that she wanted to drone strike Julian Assange.
Right.
That's huge.
It was a joke. Come on, it was just a joke.
Well, yeah, it might have been a joke, but check it out. The people in the State Department, when she first said it, everybody laughed.
And they were like,
and then she kept going. She says, well, look, he's a soft target. He's always walking around by himself. And then they all kind of said, oh, my God, I think she's freaking serious.
Yeah, and they followed up with an email for legal and non-legal means to deal with WikiLeaks. So you're like, what the heck were you guys talking? Why are you talking about non-legal means to take out your opponents?
Just look at the Clinton kill list.
Yeah. One other thing, which I'm pretty sure that New York Times or Washington Post debunked. They gave it a 0 kill list,
well,
right?
It was debunked on
Snopes.
Snopes, thank you.
Yeah, got to go to Snopes or go to Hillary Clinton's website where
HillaryClinton.com.
has fact-checked all of these. But one other thing that's really kind of key that has come out of these WikiLeaks is the fact that Hillary Clinton admits in these Goldman Sachs speeches that were leaked that she has a private and a public persona. And so one of the things, obviously, is that in private, she supports the Trans-Pacific Partnership. In public, she denounces it. And so that is kind of what's going on. We see with some of her aides talking, and they're working on her script. How can we do this so that privately she can say one thing, publicly she says another, and they kind of give her an out. One of the statements is that we should walk away from the Trans-Pacific Partnership if it doesn't turn out the way we wanted. So basically, she's allowing herself to walk away from the TPP after it destroys the economy. So she can publicly say, well, I wasn't for it if it didn't focus on the things that we wanted to happen.
Well, she's two-faced. She's two-faced, and they admit that there's even email exchanges and other WikiLeaks email exchanges where basically people that are working on her campaign, they talk about how she's totally different in the spotlight. Like Alex Jones, for example, what you see is what you get. He's the same way off camera as he is on camera. But we know from the numerous people who have worked with Hillary, like her Hillary Clinton, her Secret Service, her bodyguards, her aides, they all say that she treats them horribly.
She doesn't throw ashtrays at your everyday Americans.
Going back to this TPP, just to frame how this woman lies. So the conversation she was having was with her speechwriter. She wanted to make sure that they framed that speech in a way that gave the best result for the TPP, which is strange because you see where her heart is. Where her heart lies is always with the bottom line. The woman has a cash register as a heart, and it's never more present. Craft my speech in a way that's going to make you look really good.
Well, it speaks volumes that she has so many people, sock puppets, all these super PACs, everything working to prop her up.
Well, here again, I've said this again and again, I'm going to say it again. We know what to expect from Hillary Clinton with the Clinton presidency. I mean, it's the end of America as we know it. Donald Trump, I say we give him a chance. What do you got to lose, right? And before we go, we've got 30 seconds real quick. We've heard rumors about more WikiLeaks to come. What do you expect?
Clinton, Chelsea is involved up to her neck in the Clinton Foundation.
Like mother, like daughter.
Money taken out of for her own private. That's what's coming.
Okay. By the way, I just want to point out that Leanne and I, we've got all these notes. Look at all these notes. Margaret Howell, however, it's all up here, right? It's all in there, detailed files. Hey, we're going to take, no, that's it for the show. InfoWars Nightly News will return Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock p.m. Central. Check us out.
In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.